everyone. It's Darlene. Welcome. Tonight is Wednesday. It is let's see here. I need to put me up there. There I am. Hello. How's it going, everyone? All right, this is how we're going to roll. My name is Darlene. This is the Featherweight Doctor Social Media Live. Wednesday's show content is where we interview some of our online tribe. And tonight we have an incredibly special guest. I don't want to put any pressure on her or anything, but she's kind of big around here and everybody is dying to meet her. So stop laughing, Poli. They don't see you yet. All right. I am going to say hi to some friends. Going to get my stuff together here on my computer. And then we are going to invite Poli from the United Kingdom. We have someone from another country, like not Canada. Bernadette, we love you. Poli is over the pond. She's over, the ocean. They say that, right, Poli? Over the pond? Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. She's like, Darlene, you told me not to say anything, and then you asked me a question. All right, let's see. I see my live, but that's not what I want to do. Okay, sorry guys. Yes, at some point I will be smooth and professional, and this part of the show will never ever seem like it used to. We're like now, where it's all hiccupy and bumpy because I'm trying to pull up my feet. Okay, let's see here. I want that. I hope everybody had a great day today. We're in the middle of another heat wave. Not anything like it was a few weeks ago where it was like $110 outside, because that's just silly. $110 in Seattle is silly. But we're solidly into the 90s, according to my Apple Watch. Hi, Sandy Martin over on YouTube. Okay, so normally Poli would be out with us on YouTube, but she's not on YouTube tonight. Well, in a different way she is, but let me pull up my Facebook feed, and I'm going to say hi to a bunch of friends. Did everybody have a good week? I've had a great week. It's busy, full of lots of things, but really, really, really rewarding. I had a couple of, good Lord, Darlene, get your stuff together here. I had a couple of machines in the shop this week, like one for a general service, but then it had a bunch of other stuff wrong with it. And so we fixed that all up. And then what else did I have today? I have another machine I have to work on later. I have an entire quilt I have to do before I leave to do another moving load tomorrow. You know, I'm going to be up at like Poli at midnight tonight. She'll actually be asleep probably. All right, let me get this all set here. Darlene, what are you doing? You're making a grid on your thing. No, dashboard. That's what I want. Okay. So I'm actually gonna welcome her, and then I'll say hi to all my buddies here. So everybody, without further ado, welcome Poli from the United Kingdom, Manchester, right, Poli?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. There she is. Hi. There she is, folks. She's a real person.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
And look, we're the same age. I wasn't sure. I never know. Because, I mean, let's face it, a lot of quilters are a teensy bit older than us, Poli. So I was like, oh, look, you're young. We did our tech check yesterday. Okay. Let me say hi to some friends, and then we're gonna get going. All right. So I have a question. For Epic Shard over on YouTube. Is that because you make amazing charcuterie plates? Is that where the name comes from? Because I love me some charcuterie, if I'm being totally honest. Meat and cheese and crackers, Poli? Come on.
Oh, hell yes.
Angela in Oklahoma. Hi, thanks for joining us. We are here 3 times a week. I mean, not Poli per se, but I am here 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4:00 Pacific. Talking about or midnight in UK. All right, so let's say I did some Facebook friends. Oh, I should probably turn my mouse around. Hi, Kim. Oh, hi. Nope, I teach. What's Epic C? I don't know what Epic C is. Angela, tell me what Epic C is. Okay, we have Kathy Heiss. Hi, sweetheart, and friend in Woodinville. Odie's on from Oregon. Franny's on. Hello. Everybody's like, "Hi, Polly. Hi, Polly." Oh, charcuterie. Oh, she epic charter. Okay, I just you got me thinking about charcuterie. I might need to go to the pub in order to use Polly's word and find a charcuterie. What do you say in England? What is a charcuterie?
It's a cheese platter. I
Okay,
kind of
just a board. It's not like. Do you
yeah.
say charcuterie or no?
No, when you said it, I was like, "What's that? What is it? It sounds
It,
good."
I think
So,
it's
and it is
French.
good because it's cheese.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's French charcuterie.
yeah,
All right,
I'll
let's
go.
see. We have Nancy's over in Lake Stevens. Linda's in Texas. Oh, Odie says it's 100 degrees down in Central Oregon. Yeah, no, thank you. Joanne says hello from steamy Mississippi.
Oh,
Oh
see,
gosh.
I think we're about the mid 20 degrees. So I don't know what that works out over there. It's about early mid 60s.
Oh,
Not,
but your summers don't get hot there, right? In England?
no,
Yeah, yeah.
no. And when
All
it
right.
does, everyone freaks out and calls climate change. And it's like everyone wants to go and try and buy fans, and we sell out of fans and stuff.
It sounds like
So,
when we have a pandemic and there's no toilet paper to be had.
yeah, we had that too.
A lack of toilet. That was the first time in my entire life I ever stood in a toilet paper line.
I was shocked just seeing all the shelves empty. I was like, okay, I need to go home now.
All right, Debbie's in Kentucky. Kathy's in Texas. Judy P's in hot Massachusetts. You guys are all complaining about the heat. Good Lord. Good night. Oh, Bonnie's in steamy Illinois. Hi, Bonnie Pelton. How you doing, sweetheart? Lawrence is in Ohio. Um, Odie says week from hell. I'm sorry you're having a week from hell, girl. Lisa's in Phoenix. Now, Lisa and Bridget. Bridget's also in Rimrock, Arizona. You are the only two legit people that can complain about heat, as far as I'm concerned. Um, let's see here. Jen is on. Becky's on from Kennydale. Odie says Odie's dating herself. Girl, you're putting that on social media. I'm just saying. Let's see here. Judy P. Oh, Judy says we're not old, we're antiques.
Exactly.
I didn't say old. I did not say that. I did not say old. There's going to be all kinds of hate mail in my inbox tonight.
Nah.
Linda's on from Tennessee. Rose is on from Tennessee also. Let's see here. All right. Oh, and this is funny. Lisa Meadows is in the Valley of Phoenix, says it's only 94 there. So in other words, it's hotter everywhere else than in the desert. That's weird. Weird.
Because
Kathy,
you guys have still got all the forest fires as well, haven't you? Still
yeah,
going on.
the upper northwest corner of the country definitely struggles this time of year with forest fires. We Idaho in particular was where, I mean, I know there's some big fires in Washington too, but Idaho is where we were evacuated from, which is about 5 hours east of here into another state. So, oh, Rose once said not
Stacey?
old, we're vintage. I like that. Just like our wonderful little vintage featherweights. Susan's
Yes.
on from Massachusetts and Francis is over in Virginia. Girl, Sandy, you're not texting and driving, right? You're texting and passengering, right? Right? Okay. All right, everybody. Well, so Polly, I thought we'd start off at the very beginning, and I'd love for everybody to know how you found our wonderful little community.
It was last year during lockdown, and I've been shielding pretty much since lockdown began. And yeah, I've had featherweights. Well, I've had Patrick's featherweight Valentino for like 10 years. And then I just thought, oh, I'm just gonna go on the internet, and yours was the first thing that came up because I needed to do some MOT work. So, and then I got lost in your featherweight university series, and yeah, you basically helped revive
Yay.
featherweights, and now all my friends are getting featherweights, so I'm getting to repair.
So you have to tell me, look, she's like this one. You have to tell me, because over here in the US, people are kind of nutty about these little guys. Like, I mean, we call ourselves a bit of a cult, and it's not like we're gonna, brainwash you and, all that kind of we're a nice cult of people, but we're definitely kind of fanatical is a good word about these little machines. Is the
It's like
following similar
yeah,
there?
yeah, it really is. I mean, like it's gone up. The prices have gone up crazy during lockdown, and
Right? I
you
know.
know, you could literally go into a charity shop and pick them up for like maybe 50, 60 quid. Whereas now it's like 300.
Yeah.
And there was a featherweight 22K, 222 going up on eBay for 2.5 grand over here, which is like, what? But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
a lot
it's
of the
a little
quilters,
nutty here too.
yeah. Um,
Um, I think I think what it is, and I don't know if this is the case over there as well, but with us, people, were in lockdown, and so they were bored, and so they're trying to, um, pull out machines, go buy modern machines. For the longest time, that first season during the
yeah,
lockdown, you couldn't even buy a modern machine if your life depended
no,
on it because the
I mean, like,
sewing machine manufacturers were not prepared. They didn't
yeah,
have the back stock, and now there's a chip shortage. So
yeah.
that's even really pushed things off even more to the more modern machines with the computer chips in them. And
A lot of
so,
people have gone over here. A lot of people seem to have gone away from the plastic ones.
yeah,
Like they've done their most. They've sick and tired of taking them to the repair shop, and so
yeah,
I've started to notice that when I go to my sewing machine shop, like there's a lot more antique. Well,
yeah,
the old ladies, the old
yeah.
vintage girls, and they seem to be just they're on the shelf for like a couple of days and they're gone.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's kind of the going thing because I think, well, so
People want
for
durable machines, but they also want to be able to repair them themselves because that was
that's
the
it.
thing
I
with
was gonna
those
say
sewing
that's
machines.
it.
Yeah,
And they're
and
cute too. I mean, so you throw in I mean, it's not so much the portability factor at this point because people aren't really going anywhere. I mean, that was why people were a little fanatical about them before COVID, because they could pack up a little 11-pound machine and go sit on someone's dining room table and stitch and pitch with their friends.
that's what we call it too. um, no, but
Darlene started it.
a
Judy
lot of
P.
people, because the house sizes over here are a lot smaller than over in America,
Yeah,
and so a lot of people live in like one bedroom apartments. So featherweights are perfect for that. And
yeah.
like
They
my friends were very much like, "Oh my god, is that a kid's toy?" And
Yeah,
I
that's
was
what I
like,
get asked that a lot. Is
"Yeah,"
that
and there was
fully functioning?
yeah.
Yes.
And then when I actually was sewing, and my friend, she makes leather earrings, and she's got a featherweight so that she can do more leather earrings basically, and
Isn't that
it's less
crazy that they can
intimidating.
sew leather? It's
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah. And the thickness of the leather as well, I was shocked by. I was expecting it to start to hurt a bit and start
Yeah.
slipping a little bit, but no, it can take veg tan, no problem.
You just have to throw a heavyweight needle in. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So,
So,
and you always know when you put in a too big a size needle because then it goes thunk, thunk, thunk.
thunk, thunk, thunk. Oh, my Jeanette says that's it for me for sure. I can fix it myself usually, but if I can't, Darlene can. It's not a blown motherboard. Amen, Jeanette. Amen.
Yeah.
So,
Especially people have paid out so much money for an embroidery and then it goes error.
mm, mm,
It doesn't work once it says error.
I
So,
am.
yeah.
So before the shutdown, I bought a brand new Bernina, because I had a 25-year-old Bernina and it was, they came out with that Tula Pink one. Do you guys have Tula Pink in the UK?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I never heard about it until you started showing it,
Oh.
and I was like, "Ooh,
Ooh.
I get into
So
quilting after all."
I bought this big, fat, fancy Bernina and I decided I wanted to learn how to embroider. I didn't find it to be as fun for me as regular quilting, so I didn't stick with it too much. But I had taken like this weekend long like event to learn how to use it, and I brought my brand new machine. It wasn't even like I got my machine in mid October, and I took this event thing in November, like not even a month later, and I had done some. I had put it through some steps, like quilting steps. I was finishing a quilt as you go project, so I had some hours on her. She wasn't brand new, but I go to that embroidery thing and the motherboard died. So they had to order. The machine is a month old. a brand new motherboard, and I haven't had any problems since. Just for the record, I really Bernina is
They are
they
good at
definitely
that.
stand behind their product, and you pay a lot of money, but it's a good product and a
Yeah.
testament to my first one, which I had for 25 years, and only died. Oh yeah, see, died the morning that the other machine showed up. The motherboard went out on it. It was like it knew I was gonna cheat on her
That's
with the
it.
new younger sister.
You know what they're like? If one goes and then you replace it, you've got to introduce them properly, otherwise they just stop working.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Lorianne Payne says, which Bernina? I have the 770 QE, the Bernina, the Tula Pink model with the polka dots. It has polka dots on it.
See, I have the very old Benina Minimatic 807 because that was considered to be like the Benina's version of the featherweight because people used to take them to classes and things like that. And I learned on it at school. So it was like one of the first things I did with my first paycheck was to get myself a
Nice.
Benina 807. So
So I want you to tell everybody. Let's start with like what you sew. What's your
I
favorite?
sew anything. At the minute, it's a lot of face masks, and my friend's got some beautiful African print fabric that I'm going to make some clots out of.
Okay,
So I do a lot of alterations, but I use the featherweight because I can take it to my friend's house. So instead of me getting the bigger to-do list pile of people's alterations, I can quickly go around and take the featherweight with me and quickly do it while I'm there. And then it means that I've not got to come home and there's another stack to the pile and you go.
yeah. Do you
So you're
have?
really good with your lists. I'm not good with my to-do lists. I'm not.
Oh, I have to be. My husband gives me a hard time because he says I'm not organized. It's actually not true. I just am not organized about things that he thinks I should be organized about. So,
Yes.
and you don't have a 222, right? You have the three
That's
two
my
two
wish
one.
list. My wish list is the 222. So, but no, I've got my little, the recent one, which is the white one that I've called Troublesome Blanche because we don't know her name. And she's
She's
got
from a
that
wayward
weird,
home. It burned down.
yeah, she's definitely a character. She stitches really differently to the blacks.
I
I,
know. Not. I actually prefer the cadence and the movement of the black machines over the
same.
white ones. But
Yeah,
I say that, however, if you are accustomed to a modern machine and the movement and speed of a modern machine, the
yeah,
white ones are way closer to
yeah.
that movement. The black and the tan machines definitely have a very different movement to them
Yeah.
in a delightful way, in my opinion.
See,
So
that's it. I love your Morticia, how the noise, her little noise that she makes. And Valentino, he's like that as well. Here's my little Valentino. So
oh, you
here
have
he
to
is.
tell everybody why he's named Valentino.
Basically, I used to work at a TV station years ago, and I used to always pop into the wardrobe department. And there was this lovely guy there, and his name was Patrick, and he did loads of all the costumes for TV shows like Coronation Street and Strictly Come Dancing, which is in America, it's Dancing with the Stars, I think.
Okay.
And he used this
It's
to do all
crazy.
of his alterations on. And unfortunately, about 10 years ago, he had a stroke and it really affected his eyesight. And so he was like, I'm getting rid of my machine, and randomly bumped into his girlfriend. She's been a girlfriend for a long time as well over 10 years a girlfriend. But yeah, she was like, oh, Patrick wants to give you his featherweight. And he was
Oh,
going to give it to me for 50 quid. And I was like, I can't, no. So I gave him 150 instead because, yeah, but
yeah.
he's immaculate. So
Oh my, look at this. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at the shine. That's crazy that he
I've
used to
not
make
done,
costumes on that.
I've not polished it at all. So,
Wow. And you
so I
call him
use it and
was Patrick's last name Valentino, or what is Valentino?
he used to always wear Valentino shirts.
Oh, okay. I was curious.
So, yeah, that's where the little Valentino one. And I think, to be honest, I think if he didn't do television, he would have most probably been working in the couture kind of stuff, doing all the samples and things
Like
like that.
fashion and
Yeah. So,
very cool.
and I used to pop in there and he'd just be sat there, and I was always attracted to the noise. And it was just like, because the other lady in there, she had one of those Singer grey heavy duties.
Yeah.
And the little featherweight, you could just hear it ticking away in the background. And I was just like, oh.
That's awesome. Very cool.
But
So they what?
they're addictive little time machines. Like, you
Time
can't just have
machines. That
one.
was the phrase you used. I
Yes.
have to remember that. I love that phrase.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, my friend, she's just recently got a featherweight that I'm kind of giving a bit of a clean up to. And in the box with it was, I'm trying to get them out quickly. It was all of the paperwork that the original, like when you bought a Singer back in the day, you got
Yeah.
sewing lessons, and
Right.
it's a picture of that guy in it that I showed you.
Yes.
That
Oh, so she has a photograph
yeah,
of a soldier, very old photograph. I mean, probably World War II. Would you say World War II?
yeah. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, let's see if I can show it.
Look how cool that is. That was in the box of her friend's
Yeah,
featherweight.
and then you'll like the bit that I found in the bottom of the box, a slow wine recipe.
Oh,
So I was like, no way, that's brilliant. So she'd written a slow wine recipe, and but that was in the bottom of the featherweight.
what's a slow? Okay, because I
It's slow
understand.
gin. Slow gin. I use slow berries to make the gin really, really. It makes it really crisp and really
Oh,
Moorish gin. And we tend to have it over in the UK around Christmas time, because you pick the slow
oh,
off, and then you leave the slow berries in the gin and let it marinate, and then you have it at Christmas.
oh.
So, but yeah,
That's
so I've never heard of slow wine before, but I'm going to give it a go.
well.
Because
You take a picture of that and send it to me, winky face.
yes, of course. And it's in US thingies, because it's in pints and pounds and ounces.
Yeah,
So
send it to
we're all
me. I'd
metric
love
over
to
here.
check it out. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then this was the little
That was
report
her.
card,
Oh my
which has got
gosh.
her appointments when she went for her sewing lessons on it.
Does that say 51? Is that the year 51?
She's a 50,
50.
1950. So 21st of the 12th, 1950. So
Do
someone
you
got it for
think
Christmas.
do you think that soldier is her son or her husband?
I hope it's a husband. But then I'm like, obviously he came back because the machine was 1950. So
And if it was World War II, that would have been like
yeah,
41, 42,
hopefully he
43.
came back and it was her husband or something. Maybe he
Yeah.
bought it for a Christmas because of the date on it.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the 21st of December 1950 is when she got it. So
That's awesome. Very, very, very cool. Oh, Judy P is familiar with the slow gin. She called it slow gin fizz.
yes, yeah, that's a cocktail that you add the slow gin to. Yeah,
You know we
it's
really like cocktails around here. So,
yeah.
oh, there's Ray. She's saying hi.
Hello, Ray. I'm sending big hugs.
Oh, so funny, you guys. Reagan and I went into the eyeglass place the other day. You know my chunkier black glasses I wear sometimes. Reagan grabbed a pair off of the shelf and put them on her face, and I kid you not, it was like
Did you
looking
just?
at 18 Darlene at 18. We started laughing, and the people at the shop looked at us like we were crazy, and then they kind of got wide-eyed like, oh, that's weird, because we looked exactly alike.
Oh, it's
She's
about
like,
highest form of respect.
when she tells people that she looks like me, I'm like, that's just a complete compliment. I'm like, oh, thanks, babe. Thanks.
At least you're saying I don't want to look like my mom.
Yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah.
Franny says
No
hi.
mums want to hear that they're not cool anymore. No mums need to hear that word.
Yeah, well, we know that I'm not cool, so it's fine.
We're never good. Cool.
I mean, you guys think I'm cool, but
Yes,
you're
exactly.
cool.
There's no way you cannot be. So, yes.
So I asked you this yesterday, but I'd love for you to kind of share your passion with the community. I asked you because I said, first of all, I'm like, why are you awake in the middle of the night every night? So answer that question.
Yeah, I was I used to work in the music and media, and I used to work in nightclubs. So I'm used to being up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, loading out the equipment into the van and coming home. So I'm a night owl. I've never been able to switch back, even though I've not done any of that for about 10 years. So
You're just a you're a night owl. That's cool. That's cool.
yeah.
Um, and then
Yeah,
the
and then
other,
I volunteer for an amputee charity over in the UK, and we're all about getting amputees back into sport and fitness or arts. So this comes to the limb centre and we sew.
oh
Um, and yeah, so I volunteer doing that, getting people up and active again after becoming amputees, because I'm an amputee myself. So, and literally my limb centre was like 12 days after I had my amputation, I was up walking, and they was like, oh, do you want to do sports? And I was like, well, what is that? And they were like,
yeah,
there's loads. So
yeah,
I went, I loved it. So it's now kind of passing that feeling on and just showing people that, like, yeah, prosthetics may not be great or they may be fantastic, but we can still do fun stuff.
yeah.
So
You said that this was your busy season because the Special Olympics is coming around.
yeah, got Paralympics in 2 weeks. So we've got loads of people flying out, and there's all of the press and everything to do for all of it. So it's the once every 4 years you're cool to be disabled in the UK.
I think you're cool every day, so there's that.
So oh,
You have to show people. So you said you were showing that you had made some prosthetics and you had well you
the
kind of
mirrorball leg.
pimped them out.
Yeah, my mirrorball one.
Don't know if that word translate, but look at the fancy. Look at her
But
fancy.
basically, around like the bottom half of your leg, as an amputee, when you look in the mirror, you just see a post. And one thing that we found by, like amputees getting leg covers is it gives us our symmetry back again. But then it's kind of still, I didn't want to wear my leg and it to look like a fake leg, with fake skin and stuff.
Right.
So I
Look,
make
it's a
covers.
mirror ball.
So yeah, and that just shows you how
I
it's kind
asked
of,
Polly, I'm like, was that fabric? She goes, no, I hand glued all those little stones
yes.
on here.
You kind of see it on the inside where I've glued them all on.
I'm like, you were really bored.
That's cool. So
Really bored to do that.
yeah, but now it's like everybody's going, I want one. So I'm like, oh, I only kind of made it for myself just as a thing to do during COVID. And
Right.
yeah, so now I'm
It's
making them for kids and
oh,
for the girlies, so that the girls can go out clubbing again, have
and
their
be
legs out.
sparkly.
Yes, with the lights and everything else. You got to, if you're going to wear it out, people are going to stare. So make sure it's something good for them to stare at. So
Well, it like it turns it into well, first of all, a piece of fashion, but second of
yeah,
all, a statement of I'm comfortable in me and this is
yeah.
who I am. So that's pretty
It
cool.
power back a little bit,
Yeah.
it allows people to, instead of always being like framed disabled, they'll go, oh, it's that girl with the cool leg. There's no frame of disabled. It turns it into a positive. It's no longer a pity party in a sense where people go,
Right.
oh, I'm sorry. They're more like, I want your leg. It's like,
Oh,
oh,
I
that's a bit
want you. Wait, what?
drastic. That's a bit
we
of a
have some
drastic way to go. But yeah,
we have some
it's,
cool
we
comments.
can't change our shoes, so we change our leg covers instead of our shoes instead.
There you go.
So
There you go. So Greta Hurst says, sitting here doing some sashiko, I think I said that right. Sashiko, hand stitching. We'll be sewing with my Ruby Featherweight. Two girlfriends that are learning to quilt, pen and paper sparrows quilt. Enjoying
oh,
you too. That's
oh,
awesome. Greta, thanks for saying hi. That's great.
hi.
And then Kim Fish is my buddy, local buddy here in the Seattle area. Says, "Ah, bless you! What a fantastic cause! I've always heard it said, let your test become your testimony."
Yeah,
And it seems like you're doing just that. Very cool.
yeah.
Very cool. Well
There's
put, Kim.
that
Well
about, I
put.
can do so much more with my leg now than what I could before. So I'm like, yay.
Well, I asked you to send me the pictures um, for the ad today, and you sent one. You were on a like a
My
little
scooter,
scooter.
yeah. Even though people go, oh, did you get an electric scooter? And I'm like, no. And they were like, but why didn't you get an electric scooter? You know, isn't it to save you from walking? And I was like, I've got a cyborg leg. The cyborg leg powers it. So
And you told me recently, or just a little bit ago, you looked really tall in the picture, and you are in fact very tall.
6 foot
6'2".
2. Yeah. Six. Well, all my family are on my dad's side Scottish, and they're all like up in their 6'8s and 6'9s and stuff. So yeah, they're all army guys as well, as you
That's
know.
awesome. Well,
Yeah.
you said that you grew up in Scotland and that you lived very close to the Kilbowie, Scotland factory.
Yeah. The Clydebank. It's down near there. It's not far from the actual docks where they used to ship them out on and stuff. So yeah, we used to see the Singer light on, and you could see it across the sky. It used to beam out. Um,
Wow.
I think I don't know whether they're going to keep the Singer Tower, but I know a lot of it's been redeveloped. I haven't been up there for a little while, so but yeah,
That's so cool.
it's
Every time I see old memorabilia, like my mom-in-law in Phoenix had found the wooden crates that they
yeah,
used to ship the boxes in. So she's at an antique store. They found some wooden crates that have the Singer logo and stamp on them, but they were literally how they crated the boxes for
yeah.
shipment. It's like, oh
They
my
almost
God.
look like tea boxes. You know what they used to ship the tea
Yeah,
leaves in? Those big crates.
so
I know that
cool.
my great grandma's machine had the Singer logo on it in a tea style box, but then they had the serial number was like sprayed onto the box as well, so people could know. But yeah, by the
That's
way,
very
thank you
cool.
for telling me that there was a fire there,
Yeah,
because
that's why the records were destroyed. That's why a lot of the towards the end of the runs, I don't know what year it was, but the records get a little, we'll say, dodgy because you can't determine. You can only know that, like,
she's a
it would have been
68
like,
or a 69. Yeah,
yeah, would have just been made that year. And for the record, even though the other machines might have an actual birth date, it wasn't the day they were physically.
yeah,
What they did was they issued all of the serial numbers on one date, and then however many 5,000, 10,000, 15, whatever the lot of machines were,
yeah,
and then as they rolled off the assembly line over the course of the next couple weeks and months before the next lot of serial numbers dropped, they were
yeah.
stamped or
Well,
claimed.
it used to work out. My grandpa used to say that they used to have like a day, it may be just like one day a week, where they would do like just casting, and then it'd get moved through to stripping and sanding, and then it'd get moved through to like all of that other good stuff. So
Yeah.
when I read the dates, you can actually sometimes see it on the Ismax one where it actually sees it, and you'll see a lot of them are like weekly apart. And it's just when they were just doing the cast whenever they got the casts in. So,
That's
but yeah,
amazing.
apparently my naughty Blanche, she I was speaking to a lady, and she's got one that's similar serial number, but
Yeah.
she actually got the original box that it came in, and it said 1970.
Really?
So even though mine's dated a 68 or a 69, it wasn't actually sold, because she had hers direct from the factory
Yeah.
shipped to Liverpool. And so she got it in the cardboard Singer box with the red S on it. And it actually got all of the information, all of the details, but hers wasn't actually sold until like 1970.
Dude,
So
that's awesome. What a find. That's
I was like,
amazing.
how did you get that? And she was like,
That's
oh, shit.
awesome.
She
So
kept
fan over on you or Facebook, Lorianne says, Polly, have you seen the Singer Museum in Kilbowie? I was going to go
I went there as
until
a kid, but I can't remember it.
she
Like I
said
need to
she was
go
going to
back.
go. COVID happened. And then her Scottish showing friend, So Agnes, she said, I'll get there someday. So there's a museum.
Yeah.
That is so cool. That is
It
so cool.
I remember going as a kid, but it was just such a huge building. So, and I wasn't very old. I was maybe like 7 or 8 or something. So I need to go back and see it. So, especially now I've got, feels like half of Scotland in my house.
Let me ask you a question. Have you heard of that story? I don't know if this is a rumor or an actual story that somewhere in Scotland there is a graveyard of, you've heard this,
Yeah.
tons of featherweights, because what
Yes.
was happening was they were manufacturing machines and
They
they
made.
goofed. Yeah,
Yeah.
they goofed because no one was coming and buying new ones because they weren't making enough of a like aesthetic or
They
because
didn't have enough
relative.
different stitches. That was the thing, that it was when the zigzags came out
Yeah,
and everybody wanted zigzag, even though you
right,
can do zigzag on these, but people wanted zigzags and they wanted them to be less in cabinets and stuff, which is, it's sad because that's what these were built for, was to
right.
be
Just be
portable.
sit tabletop, right.
Yeah.
So
So
the rumor was that they dug a big hole and threw a bunch of machines in the hole because no, they couldn't sell them because people weren't coming back and buying new ones year
yeah,
after year because they made a machine that was literally
it's
built to
actually
last
in
forever.
the canal. The hole was a disused canal. It was like the arm branch from the factory. So
Yeah.
they basically, the branch of the canal that would go to the certain parts was blocked off, built up, and they drained the water, and any excess machines that weren't selling just got put in.
No.
So apparently there is actually a railway tunnel near Glasgow that also has the same thing, because obviously they used to ship them on the trains as well. So I would love to go and find them. So
Sandy Reese in New Hampshire wants to come join you. She says, let's go
magnet
dig them
fishing,
up. She said, road trip.
yeah, magnet
I'll,
fishing. We was like, yeah,
I'll
let's
bet
go magnet
money
fishing.
that they work. I just,
Yeah,
the one that I have that looks like it was stored in a mud puddle for 10 years, I call her Bessie. She still works. And
yeah.
I bet
I
I
bet
bet
you
they,
that I could pretty much guarantee that every single one of them could be restored and working straight away.
I know, it's
So
crazy.
especially,
Oh,
they've not got any oxygen in the water, because that stops the rust, doesn't it, as well?
yeah,
So
yeah. Judy Fletcher, my buddy at Celtic Quilting. Um, she, which I'll be at next week, friends. I will be in Omaha next week. Yay! She posted a little R&P tombstone. And Cindy, my buddy in Michigan said, or yeah, Michigan, I said that right. She makes me want to cry. And then she goes, I'll bring the shovel. It's a
bring the
rescue
shovels,
mission.
bring the magnets. So we're going magnet fishing in the canal, digging out, so digging out single featherweights. That's just,
Featherweights. Oh my gosh. Well,
so.
what else? I mean, what else do you want to talk about? We chatted for like an hour the other night. So I was so nice. I got to spend a little time with like Mel and Joe last week and some more really avid viewers and kind of hear about their passions and how they use these machines and then I get to sit down with you and we've had some great people on. We have more people coming on in the next couple weeks,
I've
but
I've loved it. Actually seeing the people that you read, it's
yeah,
seeing them in the flesh. Franny
yes.
was brilliant. Becky was cool. So, and
Becky
obviously,
is a cool chick.
yeah,
She's she was underplaying it. She's been such a just delightful person that I literally can call her up at like 9 o'clock in the morning and be like, hey, so I was thinking about this, and she's like, yeah, you
yeah.
should do that. Sometimes I just need a sanity check, like I have a lot of ideas and not all of them are great. So
I have a little book that I keep next to my bed. So
yeah.
then when my brain won't switch off at night, when you get the ideas, write them
Hmm.
down.
I
So it's
text
that.
myself. That's what I do.
Yeah,
I grab my
yeah.
phone and I send myself a text message so it's the first thing I see. Trust me, I've been doing it a lot lately.
I don't know how you're staying sane. Moving business, moving home. Oh my gosh. And
I'm faking it pretty good. I'm faking it till I make it. I have my moments of complete and utter um, disbelief in the undertaking that we're embarking on, and then mostly when I get really emotional about it, it's because I'm just so thankful. Like there's just there's no words. I mean, you all of you all are such a blessing to me, and I really don't know where I would be in 2021 without you. And because of all of you, now my biggest dream of all. I mean, my mom's on here. She'd totally vouch. This has been my dream forever. I mean,
Yeah.
since I was a little girl, I wanted to. I knew I wanted to own my own business. I've always worked in sales, worked in retail for other people, and here it is. This is our deal. I don't ever feel, at the end of the day, when I think about the friends that I've made in this vibrant community, this vibrant tribe of people that come around me, I don't think of it as mine. I think of it as ours because
That's why I say you're a magnet. You're a magnet for lovely people, because
yeah,
everybody that is commenting and everybody that watches
yeah,
is so supportive of each other,
I
and
know
that's
it.
really nice. There's no trolling, and if there are trolls, they get booted off very quick.
Oh my gosh, were you on the one time that the sketchy guy get
Yes.
on and he started saying
Yeah.
horrible things, and all of the ladies were like,
Everyone jumped on
"You
him.
can't talk to her like that."
Exactly. So
I was like, "Thanks, guys.
no nasty people,
I
please.
got it. I just gotta kick him."
Everybody was trying to mute him and get rid
I
of him.
know.
And
I know. So Lorianne said, Polly, let's see, you have a couple more questions. Do you sew patterns from Sew It Over or Tilly or the buttons?
um oh, they're up there, that's why. Yes, I do. So obviously, being so tall, I have really long legs. I've got like a 38 inside leg, so just going to the shops and buying jeans, it's not going to happen. That was
Yeah.
like the main reason my great grandma taught me to sew, was because we couldn't go to normal shops. I looked like I'd got like
High
Bermuda
waters.
shorts.
When they
Yeah,
weren't cool.
yeah, exactly. So my grandma was like, I'm going to teach you how to sew so you can make your own trousers. So yeah, there's some, actually, the really good pattern. It's really, it's a simple sew,
Yeah.
um but it's like a whole outfit. It's like a wardrobe one, all in one.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
cool. Oh, I love those buttons. I love those buttons.
but I've just made them like into clots and stuff. And so
Cute.
yeah, it I
Let's
yeah, I
we have,
just sew.
she says, where do
um,
you do your fabric shopping? Did you get the sewing and stitchery show at Birmingham recently?
Yes, that I normally go to that, which I obviously, because of COVID, I didn't go to.
Right.
But we have like we've got, thankfully, Manchester's got quite a few good fabric shops, and if Manchester can't cut it, then we quickly dive over to Liverpool, because there's a place in Liverpool where you can buy upholstery velour fabrics for £3 a meter. Like,
Oh.
go to anywhere else and it's £35 a meter
Oh,
and stuff. So
goodness. Wow.
yeah.
She also
So,
wants to know if you follow the Great British Sewing Bee.
yes. See, you guys need to get into that. It's so much fun. And they have the featherweights on this year as well.
Well,
So
I heard, so I met this publicist gal and we were chatting and she was telling me that she started working with Mr. Domestic
yeah,
and he was
yeah,
on that Great British Sewing Bee.
yes. Basically, anybody that ends up going on that show, they are then, for the next 5 or 10 years, they're at every quilting show, every sewing convention, every things like that. It's been a great platform for newbie sewers, or people that have just taken it up, and they'll go, right, I'm going to go on the show. And sometimes you're like, oh, why are you doing that to yourself? Like, why are you got to make like a couture gown in 8 hours that would normally take 4 weeks? You
Yeah.
know,
It's like making a quilt in 5 hours, which would normally take at least 5 months.
yeah. I mean, like, thankfully, over in the UK, especially during lockdown, we had loads of like creative TV. So it wasn't just cooking programs, it was sewing, it was DIY, upcycles.
Love that.
So it kept people busy during lockdown. So which is good. But there should be more of them all over the place.
Yeah,
You know,
no, I
the
know.
Great American Sewing Bee.
There you go.
There you go,
Is
pitch it.
anybody watching? I'll come on.
They need judges, so
They
you
need
could, you know,
judges.
yeah. Because the guys that they have on, you've got like two judges that will walk around, but you've got to have like a sewing history. So there's one guy that's on it, and his name is Patrick, and he's a tailor from Savile Row. So
Okay.
he's like going around checking everybody's stitches, like your 10 stitches an inch for
Yeah,
quilts.
our industry standard. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He gets the magnifying glass out and
Oh,
everything. And it's like,
he's
that
that
person's
guy.
just been given 3 hours to make a skirt that they've never made before. And you're there with your magnifying.
Measuring the stitches. Whew.
Yeah,
Maybe I don't want that kind of pressure.
yeah. But then like, the woman that's in it, she's actually an old fashion designer. She works doing all of London Fashion Week and things like that. So
Oh, wow.
she's kind of like the cool judge.
I'll have to check that out. That sounds really
Honestly,
cool.
it'll be on it'll either be on Channel 4, so that'll be 4 player,
Yeah.
um or it'll be on the BBC Two. They had it on there as well, so yeah, you can find them on both of those.
I'm
Definitely do.
sure I can find it on the interwebs. I'm sure I can.
Yeah,
And if they're
on
Scottish, I'll need my husband
YouTube.
to interpret for me. But yes.
At least it's not as bad as how I used to sound.
Well, so Polly was telling me that she grew up in Scotland and then moved to England when she was 6. You said 6 or 7.
Yeah,
Her mom thought that she needed to speak proper English. So sent her to, is it, you called it finishing school or?
elocution lessons, so we learned to speak properly. But
That's
yeah,
right.
I lost my accent, so because
Well, unless
kids
you give her a few
understand.
drinks at the pub, she said it comes back really fast.
Yes, put me in Scotland and give me a couple of drams of whiskey and I'm fluent. Much to my friends' horror, because they're like, hold on, where did that come from?
All right,
Oh,
you guys. Well, we have definitely taken up a lot of Polly's time, but
I
uh,
loved it. Thank you.
I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I honestly, when I threw it out there a week or two ago, I didn't know what you were going to say. Well, because like it is the middle of the night for you. So if someone asked me to do something at midnight, I'd be like, is there oxygen to breathe at midnight?
No, I confirm, look, it is 100% midnight. It's
Is it pitch black out there?
very dark outside.
Very dark. Well,
Yes.
you're delightful. And I just thank you so much for sharing your gifts and talents and your
Seriously,
humor
thank
with
you, because you've rescued mine and now my friends'
good.
featherweights.
Well, I
So,
look forward to having many, many, many more opportunities to talk to you and to get to know you better. And
yeah,
you're just delightful.
pretty much you're my go to bed. Last thing that I watch before I go to bed, kind of
Oh.
thing. So,
Well, I have some shameless plugs I want to make. So, the Featherweight Doctor goes on the road next week. I'm traveling to Omaha. I am filming a segment for AccuQuilt that will air on August 24th.
see, Tula needs to
Beyond,
be in with that. Tula needs to be like, hello, Darlene.
oh,
Will
right.
you be
Can you
our
imagine?
ambassador?
I would pee my pants if she ever like popped onto one of my, I'd be like it would be bad because I would be speechless, and that's not good if I'm speechless. So
No, it needs to happen though, especially because with all the quilting stuff that you're going to be doing as well, it's like,
I'm not nearly that cool, not
oh,
remotely that cool.
yes,
Um,
you are.
but you're too kind. But so next Wednesday I will be on the road. I will not be on my show. Obviously, Lisa Meadows, if you're still watching, totally forgot. I will be traveling next Wednesday, so there will be no Featherweight Stories next Wednesday. But my plan is to do the Sip and Sew from Phoenix at the same time at 4
Nothing
o'clock.
beats Sip and Sew.
And Denise is coming to Phoenix with me. Oh
So we
no,
get to.
that's the Phoenix trip. That's September. I'm sorry. When I go to Phoenix in September, because we weren't supposed to be moving in this season. I had planned on moving October, November, and I cleared my travel schedule, and then all the things just happened, and all of a sudden I'm traveling for Featherweight Doctor and trying to coordinate a move and a store opening and so
I don't know if you're doing it. I really don't.
I'm
Bless
gonna
you.
make Judy, are you still on? I'm making you get on camera with me for the Sip and Sew. She's like, wait, what? Judy is phenomenal. She owns Celtic Quilter. Her and her wonderful husband Drew, and they are the absolute best hosts I have ever had. Best
Oh,
hosts I've ever had. So they are setting the bar pretty high. Judy and Drew are. So
especially after that when that guy had got all of those featherweights in.
did you guys
I was.
see that? I would have died. I would have died. Judy was
I
talking
would have
about
been
maybe getting
arrested for.
him.
I would have been arrested for for theft.
For trying to steal. He did have a crinkle, and I thought, oh yeah, I'm just
That's
gonna
it.
tuck this under my. No, I can't live with myself. Can't do that. So so next week, no Wednesday. Lisa, I guess I came up with that and told you. You said so not this Wednesday, but the next Wednesday. Lisa Meadows will be joining us from Phoenix. Lisa is a dear, dear, dear friend of mine. Love her. Oh my gosh, Franny said now if we could get Tula to add Sand Creek quilt opening.
Yes, please. You know, like garage them. Can we send them emails to make it happen?
They'll be like,
You
who
need
is
to
this
be
crazy
this thing.
featherweight girl?
So, but you're gonna have to make sure to have your Tula quilt on show.
I'll
One
have to
of
do
the
what?
Tula. You'll have to make sure you've got your Tula quilts out on show as well.
Oh, I have just a few stacks.
See, you don't need soundproofing for the store. If ever anybody was saying, "Oh, quieten it down," you just put all the quilts up. Who needs soundproofing? With
We'll totally, it'll sound dampen everything. I like it. I like it. Judy said that Bob is going to bring the crinkle in for me to drool over.
Oh, I'm
Oh.
I'm so jealous. I love those.
They're not even like the rarest bird. I owned the rarest bird. The Texas Centennial is the rarest bird, and I owned one. But that crinkle would never go anywhere if I owned a crinkle. Like I put her in like a safe. That's like,
or a glass case.
or right, that no one could drool on but me.
Yeah. Apparently, the crinkles that were over here, they tended to end up in garages. So like they were mainly, the main aim of them was like men didn't want the scrolly things. So they were
Oh,
like
because
for a
they're like
workshop.
dude machines.
They were just like gruff because obviously the paintwork was a lot tougher for the crinkles. So you would find them like in mechanics workshops and things.
That makes
So
sense. I mean, they made them for the army, so that makes sense.
yeah.
So, all right. Well, everybody's
Uh-oh.
going crazy on Facebook. Okay, I gotta get off before we get thrown off.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you, Polly. Go have a nice sleep, and I will be joining everybody on Friday. I think from Idaho. I'll be on. I might just be sipping again. Not sure if I'm going to have the emotional capacity to sew, but we will get together and hang out on Friday. Thanks for joining me, everybody.
The rule is when you sip and you spill, we all drink.
I thought it was if I ran out of bobbin or if I had to use the seam ripper.
Yeah, but you're not sewing, so that means if you spill a little bit, we've all got to.
Oh, well, you guys would have been drunk. What was my deal? We didn't have
that was
a table.
like with you and Mel.
Yeah, Mel. I talk with my hands a lot. It's a problem if I'm holding a wine glass, you know? Yeah, exactly. I had red wine all down my legs. Because I didn't have a napkin or anything, and then I forgot it was there, and I went to the restaurant like that.
Well, it was called the Fat Pig. It was a Fat Pig, wasn't it, that you went to?
It was not the Big Fat Pig. Mel called it the Big Fat Pig. It was just Fat Pig.
Yeah.
It was delightful. Judy says she has a cup for me to no spill. Thank you, Judy. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Good night, Polly. We'll talk to you soon.
Lovelies.
Bye.